I didn't make it true, playing by the rules. I come apart, babe, but never lose. I didn't make it true, playing by the rules. I come apart, babe, but never lose.
Man, we've been waiting a long time for this, baby. Red Zone in the lab. Commanders. It's time. Let's get it, homie. Yep. Let's get right into it. Mikey working with Debo after practice. What does that mean? What does it mean? Let's just Mikey gonna be playing both sides? Maybe. He's an athlete for sure. Does it mean Mikey gonna play more in the nickel back? And he's just trying to, Debo's teaching him some of the moves that he's seen since he's been playing from the slot, from the outside. I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know, but I think to me it shows that Mikey wants to learn, and I think that's most important. Because he has someone else, a different voice, other than Terry teaching him, right? And for them to be working together after practice shows the dedication to what they want to do this upcoming season. And for Debo too, is being willing to do that. He doesn't have to do it, but that just shows me that he's starting to buy in or understand what this brotherhood is about with this team, and that's helping one another to get better. Right? Iron sharpens iron. So I'm glad that they're doing that. I think we're gonna hear more about that as we go on. Something else working on, I think this is during practice though, but maybe after. Frankie Louvu with Ryan Kerrigan. A lot of when we talk about his defensive line and the pass rush, for some reason we never really talk about Louvu. Louvu, he rushes the passer more often than not. It's very few times we saw him in pass coverage. He's usually always rushing the passer. I think we were top 5 in blitz percentage last year because for the most part, Louvu is a linebacker, but he's always blitzing or he's rushing the passer. And I'm gonna go back and look to see those Fowler sacks because Louvu was wreaking havoc a lot. But him working with Ryan Kerrigan is going to show me that he's going to be rushing the passer more often and maybe even from that end spot, with his hands in the dirt or at least in the 2-point stand. Learning the technique of it. They swim move, rip move, all those other different things. So I'm excited. I think Lou is going to take a huge step. I do. I think he's going to take another huge step. Another thing, joint practices. We're locked in. There was some rumors going around. I put a post out a couple last month about it that we're going to have a joint practice in Ashburn, which Dan Quinn confirmed all that today. We're going to have the joint practice in New England when we go up to play them. I think the first preseason game, we had a couple joint practices up there. 1 or 2, I'm not sure. And then for the last game, we're going to have a joint practice with Baltimore again, but this time it's going to be in Ashburn. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully they open it up to the fans both days or one day, however many they have it. I'm definitely going to try to be there, no doubt. Going to try to be there. So let's just pull up a few things from OTAs today. Let's start with Quan Martin. Al Gowdy said what has come out about Quan Martin is crazy. About it was a lot of doubt about him playing free safety and playing position from the fan base. Um, a lot of people wanted to go safety in the draft to replace Quan Martin, but just like Gaudi said, like he played much of last season with not one but two separated shoulders, and he mentioned that during draft day 3 of the draft party, he mentioned that he had two separated shoulders, and he still played 87% of the regular season defensive snaps and 92.6% in the postseason, and played special team. Like I didn't really realize he played special teams. So Joe Witt was giving him a whole lot of praise today. He talked about how early in the off season on training camp last year he had a couple bad days and he benched him. He benched Quan Martin, right? But then he worked hard and he had 3 consecutive great days and then he never looked back. My only thing with Quan Martin this offseason, why I wanted to get another true free safety, is I think Quan Martin in the box is where he can reach the highest, where his ceiling is the highest. But I might be wrong because remember, he was one of the best slot cornerbacks in college football when he came up. And then he got here. We put him at safety. We've done all type of things with that old regime, but the game that we remember the most about how a lot of people thought he was going to be good was he was playing slot in the box, and he had a great game. He had like 2 deflections. He had a deflection that he caught for an interception. He had some tackles. So, and when you watch him play, man, he's like a missile coming from that free safety spot to make tackles in the box. I just think he's a hitter and not a cover. But I could be wrong, man. Like this is going into year 2 at free safety, right? And he has another year, right? So year 2 in this system, we might see a great leap from Paul Martin. Here's another play. I like this. I like that we're practicing the peanut punch, especially what happened to us in the conference championship game. But creating turnovers, like we have to create some turnovers. You see what happened. We were able to create turnovers. You watched that in the Lions game in the playoffs. We were able to generate turnovers, flip the field. So I'm glad we're working on that. This is the time to work on those peanut punches. So I absolutely am excited to see this defense this upcoming year, and I'm glad they worked on this specific drill. All right, Daron Payne. Like it was a lot. Like we're gonna look. He also spoke with the media today. We're gonna play that tomorrow. But there's a lot of praise from Dan Quinn, right, about how good he looks. Right, I think Joe Witt mentioned it too. He looks in shape. He's been working out hard in the off season at the facility. He's looking the best he's ever looked. But you still got to perform, man. We need Daron Payne to perform. I've been kind of thinking about this the last couple of days. Like if he can get to that contract year type of performance, like that'll be big for us this upcoming year. And really, this is the last year of guarantees that he has. Even though he has to deal for next year, it goes to next year. But this is like a contract year, right? Because next year they usually want to get an extension and won't have the players going into the last year of their deal for both sides. So this is like a contract year for him. So Daron, turn up, baby. So Kinlaw has been a big discussion in our fan base. Not much about Eddie Goldman, but Kinlaw. And I think Kinlaw gets a lot of the discussion because of the money that he was given, the contract that he signed with us. So, like because of the contract, we're expecting a lot, right? And which is fair. Like you pay people to perform, and I believe that's what we're doing. Someone that mentioned, well, they're paying him on projection because if you look at the last 2 years, he's increased his production over the last 2 years coming into this year. So I think that's the approach they taking, the same approach that they took with Dawn Armstrong, Frankie Louisville, and those guys last year that they gave multi-year deals to. So Zach Selby says Witt said the front will be bigger personnel-wise on first and second down. Additions like Kinlaw, Eddie Goldman create better matchup against 12 or 13 personnel, which I like. You want bigger guys up there. We were small. I think he's like 40 pounds bigger than John Allen. He's a bigger guy. He's a taller guy. So lining them up on tight ends is going to benefit us, right? I think that's going to help. It's going to help in the run game. That I know that's going to help in the run game when they go 12 and 13 personnel because we wasn't that big, right? We look at Fowler and those guys like they wasn't run defenders. They wasn't big, but I think us being able to do this, it makes us bigger. Even when you talk about Johnny Newton, like you can tell like he just needs to get stronger. Like that's the person that I wanted to see look like he bulked up is Johnny Newton, but we're definitely going to see what he looks like. So, the thing with Kinlaw, Eddie Goldman, um, I'm glad to see that Witt has an understanding of what and where these guys are going to be playing. Um, yeah, we talked about the Quan Martin thing already. So, like, I am excited. I'm excited about this year. I'm excited about camp. I'm excited about football and what we're going to do, what we're going to be able to do this upcoming year, especially with what we have, what we brought in. Because I think the team as a roster has got better, right? I think the roster has gotten better. Offensive line absolutely got better. Even today, we saw some pass setups. Like we don't know if it's the first pass setup or the second, but some pass setups. We saw Trent Scott at left tackle, and we saw Brandon Coleman at left guard. Right, and I think that's where he's going to go. I think he's going to be the guard. A lot of people think he's going to be the tackle, but I think Connerly is going to start at right tackle. And he was out there today. Connerly was out there at right tackle today. We saw some sets with him at right tackle. But if Trent Scott is fighting, if there's a battle for that swing tackle between like him and Wiley, then yes, Trent Scott needs to be there until Thompson gets there. Like he needs that work. And you put Coleman at left guard because this is where he's going to play. There's no need of really putting him at left tackle because you don't want to have the best offensive line right now. You want to have the best offensive line out there week one, and you want him to get as acclimated as possible as he can get at left guard. Right. Then they had Allegretti at right guard, so it might be a battle between like him and Wiley there. I don't know where the battle is yet. We got to see it and get more information about it. But I'm thinking, as far as swing tackles, you might got Wiley and Trent Scott. As far as starting right guard, you might have Wiley and Allegretti. I don't know, right? But it's something definitely to watch and to be excited about. The wide receiver room, I think, got better also. Right, y'all know how I feel about KJ Osborne. He's going to be my sleeper roster spot guy this upcoming year. My spotlight player. He's going to be one of them. I still haven't figured out who the other two is. But you got people like Gallup. He's already taking vet days. Like he was at a facility, but he didn't practice. He's already taking vet days. Like I don't know. We've seen a lot of retirements the last couple of days. I wouldn't be surprised, right? But I think the wide receiver room is better, especially Noah Brown coming back, being healthy. You got Debo Samuel. I think he's better. So I'm really like, of course, Terry. So I think the wide receiver room got better. It might not have got better by much, but it's definitely got better. The running back room is the same. It's the same. I know we got the 7th round pick in JCM. We like him a lot. I'm beginning to like him a lot. I'm going to do something on him in the upcoming weeks. There's been a lot of noise around V Rob and him being on this team, RB1, JCM taking this spot. So we'll see what that looks like. But for right now, I think the running back room is the same. Quarterback room is the same. Tight end room is the same. It's just projections and what we want out of that. I don't think it got better. I don't think it got worse. I think it just is what it is. On the defensive side, I think the defensive line got better. Like you look at production wise, I think Kinlaw had a better year last year than John Allen. Like he played on a group that defensive line group that was one of the best in the league in the Jets, like during the season. Pass rushes is the same. Even with Louisville, like it's still the same, right? I don't think it's like better. I just think it's the same. Linebackers, the same. But what can we get out of Jordan McGee, right? The kid Madrano that we got this year was getting some good praise this year too. I mean, today also, they had some shots with him and Louisville talking, and they had some shots with him and Ken Norton Jr., the linebackers coach, talking. So, and they had some high praise for him. Like I think Witt, they asked him about him, and Witt said, well, he could either be, I think it either be Louisville or Jeremy Reeves. Like, I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, he had praise for Jeremy Reeves too, right? I mean, it's the off season, it's OTAs, right? It's coach speak, coach talk, right? So you kind of take it with a grain of salt and just hope some of the things that they're saying actually comes true once they put the pads on and get into the regular season. But the secondary, I think it's got so much better, so much better, right? Jonathan Jones, Will Harris, um, Trey Amos, Southeast Sean, like compared to what we had last year, VSJ, Forbes, Michael Davis, Jeremy Chin, like I think it's much better than what it was, right? I mean, you all know how I feel about the comparison between Will Harris and Jeremy Chin. It's not that much. It's no different, right? So I'm excited about that. So I think as a whole, though, I think the rosters got better. A lot of players that were here last year that stayed, a lot were starters that's going to be backups. And I think that's how you build a team. If I can take my starters from last year and make them depth pieces, I have my team is really building. That's how you build a strong team. That's what I'm excited about because we were able to do that. So I'm excited about this year. Again, today was OTAs. We're still in phase three. This is part two of phase three. I think it goes to maybe to Friday, I think. The next week is the big week. It's mandatory. June 10th, mandatory June 10th. So I'm expecting. I really hope Terry deal is done by then. Like Dog Ty had told me that his last deal he ain't signed till July. So hey, I mean that was the old regime, right? So I'm hoping we get a deal done with him. Southeast Sean need to be there next week. He definitely needs to be there. And Tunsil, I would love for him to be there, but I'm not expecting him to offer. So if he come early, I love that, right? He's also been working out. Like, it's an Instagram post for him working out, so I'm okay with that. And let me get into this about this real quick about voluntary workouts, right? I think especially for players that don't live in the area, right? For them to be here, it means a whole lot, right? Because you got to think about it. These people is not moving their families on 1 year, 2 year deals. They're not doing that. So during the season, like training camp, all this during the season, like they're going to be away from their families for a very long time, for a very long time. So if it's not mandatory, then I can see it. I also understand like from the fan perspective, like and them being there, getting that brotherhood, strengthening it, getting that like, all that good stuff. I get it, but they're human also, and they have families also, right? So if they talk to their wives or whatever, hey, look, let's take this last trip together, this last couple trips with you and the kids, because you're gonna have them all summer, most of the summer by yourself, because you're gonna be down and be here. Maybe they'll bring them up for the summer for a few weeks so they can be together. But for the most part, they're gonna be in school. All they're gonna be is separated away from their family. So just give them a little break for a couple of days, right? It's voluntary, but when it's mandatory, it's time to rock, right? Be here for that week, few days, take your pictures, do all that. Go back to your family for a few weeks again and get ready for the grind for training camp. That's what I see. That's how I kind of look at it. It's looking at it from both sides, all three sides, from the team, the fans, and the players. But yeah, that's it, man. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Throw some clips out. Check me out. Don't forget to follow, comment, please. Like I'm responding to the comments. I'm doing a good job of it. So please continue to comment, like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're not. Share with your fans, share with your friends, all of that good stuff. And I'm glad those that are watching now or you listen, I appreciate your time. I know your time is very valuable, but for you to spend it with me, I absolutely, absolutely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one hot, one love.